Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Thompson. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for The Simpsons Season 8 Episode 10, The Springfield Files. This is the Simpsons X-Files crossover, which was a big deal to me when I did eventually see it, because I don't think I saw it when it first came out, because I don't think we had cable at that time. We didn't get cable until the early 2000s. Well, no, that's not true. Cable itself, we probably did get around 97, because I remember seeing, this weird thing I always remember is there was some kind of thing where it was like a show West Awards or something. They would like show all these trailers for what's coming soon, and I remember vividly seeing like the trailer to Alien Resurrection, just like, oh wow, Ripley's back, what's going on here? And then you see the movie, fuck. But so yeah, we had cable then, so maybe I did see this when it came out. I think I did, because I knew of the X-Files and had seen episodes on VHS tape and such, being a big fan of the show. And Simpsons, same thing. The first time I saw them was a VHS tape of the Christmas special, because The Simpsons was on the Tracy Ullman show, which I never saw, those shorts, and then later became its own show. But, being a big fan of both at the time, so it was nice to see this crossover. And watch this again, I realized how much stuff I forgot was in this episode. Like, I knew of the X-Files stuff, but how much other stuff I really enjoyed. And it's like, oh, that was in this episode? Oh, that was in this episode? To the point that it'd be hard for me to make a list because there's so many episodes of The Simpsons. This would have to be in my top 10. It'd have to be. And, I mean, that's the thing about The Simpsons, is that I lost interest on what they do nowadays. Kind of the old phrase, how can I miss you if you don't go away? And the Simpsons never went away. So they almost became, you turn on the TV and you just turn on for noise, but you're doing something else. It became background noise. Sadly, that's what The Simpsons at one point was, such a cultural event. It became the perpetual background noise. And that's a shame. It's always there and you don't pay much attention to it, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. I even have a good chunk of the DVDs, but then they stopped doing it. Then they started doing it again for like one or two more times, and they stopped again. And you'll never have the whole series on physical format. Never. Because they're still going. And if they eventually did somehow, some way, some future format, it'd probably be like $2,000 with how many fucking seasons they have. Or $3,000. But anyway. So not only does it have the X-Files stuff, but I forgot, this had Leonard Nimoy. May he rest in peace. Big fan of Leonard Nimoy. Fan of him as a director who did 3 Men and a Baby. Of course, as an actor, as Spock in Star Trek. It sounded like he was having fun with the role. It's like a program that he's hosting. Probably a little take on his, and he used to be a host of In Search Of back in the day. And he's like, what you're about to see, it's all lies, but they're entertaining lies. Is that the whole truth of the matter? No. Even later on, he's part of this circular scene-along. He's having fun with the role. So it was nice to see Leonard Nimoy. Nice to see him there. And like I said, there's certain jokes that I'm like, oh yeah, it was this. Like, for example, they're looking at what the characters are doing Friday night. And for example, Homer is trying to trick his boss, trick his workplace. So, I saw this movie about a bus whose speed could not be under 50 miles per hour, and he keeps saying the word speed, but he can't remember the name. So he I think it was called the bus that could not stop, or something like that. And he does the trick where the video feed will repeat, but he fucks up. It's only like the same 5 seconds. And like Milhouse is at an arcade, and he's playing the Kevin Costner Waterworld video game. Of course, the joke is that that movie is so over expensive that this game, he puts 40 quarters. Kevin Costner goes one step. Game over. Please put in 40 more quarters. And Milhouse says, "What a ripoff!" And then he puts another 40 quarters in. I always thought that was a fun joke. Again, Waterworld is not that bad of a movie, but again, it was just all the buzz of just how expensive it is, how over expensive it is. And the fact that Milhouse put all that, they did one step in. Funny enough, someone actually made that video game, at least to the point of, you could go on YouTube, type that in, you will see like a full, the what if that full video game was shown. It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting. Like, someone actually animated what that full video game would have been. I thought, wow, that takes some dedication. That's a lot of fun. I definitely suggest checking it up. I like that. That like I said, that's pretty clever. That's a lot of work to put into that. So Homer gets drunk. He can't drive home, so he's walking. Things get creepy. He hears the Psycho theme, but then he sees it's a bus with the Philharmonic band playing the Psycho music, and they just keep driving by. Or he sees a sign that says "die," and he screams, but some brushes leave, and it says "diet," and he still screams, "Ah!" I mean, oh yeah, I remember that joke, and I forgot that was in this episode. The Waterworld joke I forgot was in this episode. And then, of course, because both are Fox shows, they're able to get the X-Files theme. So Homer thinks he sees an alien. He screams. And the FBI gets involved. And you have David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. I will admit, it works for what it needs to be, but the voices are very flat. But yeah, that's the whole point of it. I wish they were in the episode more. I wish they were more in the third act, more within the story. Like maybe like Stoli interacting with Lisa. I think would have been nice. Mulder interacting with Bart. Stuff like that. I think that would have been cool to see more of that. But I do like a lot of the jokes. Like they have the lineup, or any of the aliens you saw, and in the lineup there's Marvin the Martians, there's Elf. Because I never knew Elf. Very rare for Elf from Melmac they did a mention. And I'm such a sucker for that show. That was nice to see. I do like when Mulder puts up his badge. It's a picture of him with like bikini bottom or something. Because on the first season of the X-Files, there is an episode where he gets out of the pool and he's wearing very tight British bikini bottoms. So I think it's an ode to that. Moan Stoli, FBI. I don't know if I'm wrong, but it felt like Dave Duchovny kind of got in on the joke and Gillian Anderson sounded bored. I don't know, maybe I'm just putting too much into it. But it still worked out well. Like there's a bit where they have the lie detector on Homer. Stoli's like, just explaining the instructions. Do you understand? Yes. And the whole thing blows up in front of Stoli. Or they got him running. Mulder's like, what does this have to do with anything? No, nothing. Just thought you could lose a few pounds. the line that Stoli says, he's like a lava lamp. Something about that always made me laugh. They do throw jokes out at Fox, like Bart says, you know what, if you're telling the truth, Dad, let's go out, maybe we can film it. And if we don't find anything, we'll sell it to the Fox network. Yeah, they'll buy anything. Now, son, they make quality programming. And then Homer and Bart laugh, just pretty much talking shit about Fox. I mean, they're not wrong for the most part. Like I said, Leonard Nimoy gets to come back and he stops Goodnight. And so it was like, we got 10 minutes left of the show. Oh, I gotta get something out of my car. He runs and he drives off. And then you come to find out that the alien is really Mr. Burns. And apparently the green glow is from all these years and worked at the nuclear reactor, I should say. Granted, you never see him have that green glow again. But I mean, I guess continuity is almost impossible with this show, with how long they've been on. I do like in seeing the group. They got Mulder, Scully. Scully's wearing Homer's a dope t-shirt. And they're in a kumbaya scene along with fucking Chewbacca. It was, like I say, it was a very fun, entertaining episode. Got a lot of laughs and chuckles out of it. Being X-Files fans, great to see them in there. Like I said, I wish they were more prominent in the third act. I do like that Mulder gives the big speech and Scully kind of shakes her head, just walks off. Like, I've heard this before. But I said, I wish in the third act they were a bit more prominent in the... Maybe if they joined Mulder, if they joined Homer and Bart in the woods. I don't know, I think they could have been utilized. I would like to see them utilized even more. I guess I'm being greedy on that front. I don't know if this is true. I remember Dave Duchovny said somewhere that he kind of wished, which I don't know how this idea would have happened, so maybe it's a good thing. But he's like, he wanted the Simpsons to be on the X-Files in like season 8 or 7. And to be like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of thing. I don't know how the fuck that would have worked, and I don't know how the fuck you would have afforded it on a TV budget, so maybe he's just saying that because he's a fan of The Simpsons, and say, hey, they had me on, and, you know, maybe he's being nice. But, yeah, I don't know how the fuck that would have worked. Although it still would have been better than the revival, so maybe I would rather watch that than the revival, to be honest. Or the second piece of shit X-Files movie. But yeah, this was still this was fun. This was great to watch again, and went by very quick, very fast. You got X-Files, you got Leonard Nimoy, you got some good jokes like the Waterworld video game joke. Then it being Mr. Burns, like, oh, okay, I guess so. That never happens again, but, you know, again, it's a cartoon. Don't expect continuity on it. Overall, like I said, enjoyable episode. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.